All right, the Health Department encouraging workers in the education sector to get their jabs. This includes food handlers, janitors and other support staff. 400,000 teachers and other school staff have so far been vaccinated. Now, initially the target was 580,000 or thereabouts in this sector, but now it's been broadened to include that category I mentioned. So it's over 700,000 people in the education sector. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos joins us now. So, Heidi, that means, of course, that the original deadline is not going to be met because the goalpost has just been moved. Tell us why they've decided to add more people into this category at this stage.
Yes, certainly, Sally. I think everybody was questioning whether or not the basic education department would meet that goal for 8 July to vaccinate over 500,000 education staff in just 2 weeks. But we do understand that the Basic Education Minister today, Angie Motshekga, indicated that that deadline won't be met. But it's not necessarily bad news because we do know that over 400,000 education staff have been vaccinated to date. And of course, that number is increasing. We'll get those updates possibly later tonight or tomorrow. But we know that they have decided to include other people involved in basic education, such as gardeners, cleaners, janitors, and all support staff in basic education to also be eligible to get the vaccine, as they are, of course, directly involved in some or other kind of way in schools. So we know that because the Department of Health has increased the number of vaccines given to basic education, they have then decided to include more people eligible. But let's listen to the spokesperson for basic education on this particular matter.
No, we will not be able to meet the deadline because we have since added more people. Initially, we had 582,000 people that had been identified as eligible to get the vaccination done. But now we have loaded up to 789,000 people. We have added more people in the sector. So we are considering approaching the Department of Health to ask for more time for us to be able to get all those people vaccinated as well. And we believe that with the new doses that we have received, we will be able to meet that kind of deadline. But of course, this needs a lot of coordination between the Department of Basic Education, Health, as well as the provincial department.
Heidi, we have seen over the last week or so that the daily jab rate has been increasing. And I think you'll tell me exactly where we're at, but I think we're hitting at least 150,000 jabs a day, which actually means that with the deadline, the original deadline tomorrow of 580,000, if they've done over 400,000, they're actually pretty much in line with where they were hoping to be, obviously before they expanded the category. Talk to me about the daily jab rate and the national figure of how many people have been vaccinated.
Yes, certainly, Sally, and I think what's key here is possibly for the Department of Health to expand on its daily dashboard how many people have received their first dose of Pfizer, their second dose of Pfizer, education staff and law enforcement officers, because for now all we get is a broad number to say this is how many people have been vaccinated. We do understand that yesterday 164,874 had been vaccinated in one day. That is again an all-time high of vaccinations administered in one single day. We know that the total number administered since the beginning of the vaccine rollout, it's over 3.6 million. Of course, we'll be getting those new vaccine numbers at about 7 o'clock this evening. But it seems as though there's a significant uptick in how many vaccines are administered per day. We do understand that there's a great demand for it. We know that there is a large number of vaccines that are currently available to cater to this demand. But just speaking to the point of where you say over 400 have already been vaccinated in basic education, and this is just a round-off figure. We know that the minister is saying that it's most likely expected to increase, and she expects that today and tomorrow, most likely, and by Friday, they would have vaccinated the over 182,000 that was still outstanding from the initial figure of 582,000 to be vaccinated in education staff. So this is great news. They have managed to vaccinate almost 500,000 people in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it really is. And I saw earlier today, Heidi, I think you were out at Midrand, if I'm not mistaken, the new vaccination site that's been opened up. I think by Discovery, we're starting to see a lot more people coming in, especially with the over 50s now able to do walk-ins. People are queuing. You were saying to me earlier how very busy it was, which is very encouraging. But at the same time, there are still people who are vaccine hesitant. And this is something you spoke about with the Minister. Tell us more.
Yes, certainly. And just on that point, Sally, I have been covering vaccination sites for I don't even know how long anymore. And I've never seen so many people at vaccination sites like I saw today at the Discovery Gallagher Convention Centre. And it just speaks to how many people really do want to get the vaccine. And now that the 50 cohort has opened up, it seems as though that category and cohort has really heeded the call to get the vaccine. But the Minister of Basic Education saying she just can't believe that teachers and education staff believe myths and misinformation. And she actually made a joke to say maybe because in education so many stories are told that they actually now start believing these stories about what the vaccine could possibly do and the misinformation. But the Minister saying it remains a concern. Nobody can be forced to take the vaccine. They've pleaded with teachers to consider the vaccine. But also what's key here is that over 20,000 education staff were not able to get the vaccine in this 2-week period because they had either tested positive or they had received the flu vaccine or they were pregnant, which they then did not qualify for the vaccine and need to wait a certain period. So the Minister is saying they're counting those numbers still. It might go over 20,000. But let's listen to what the Minister said with regards to the hesitancy that they've experienced in basic education.
Friday the 9th, we'll be going to the ENRC to go and renegotiate the agreement that we had with them around teachers with comorbidities. We have more than 16,000 teachers that are on special leave who are not able to come to work because of comorbidities. So we're going back to the chamber to say we've given our employees an opportunity, and Doc was giving me very good statistics about what are the survival rates. We've given them opportunities, so we expect the 16,000 that was on leave to come for vaccination because we want to remove the dispensation of getting people staying at home because they have comorbidities. So we'll be going to the chamber this Friday, the 19th.
Right, Basic Education Minister there. Heidi Giokos, thank you so much. 3.6 million South Africans vaccinated already, and as you say, you are seeing more and more activity at these new vaccination sites as they open up. So that is really good news. Thank you so much for updating us. That was Heidi Giokos here.